I'm Dr. Seema Desai, and this is the Joy First Method, where high achievers stop white-knuckling their way forward and start building something that's actually theirs. Let's get to it. Hello, my friends. I'm so excited that you're here. Welcome to the very first episode of this podcast, The Joy First Method. I'm thrilled that you're here. I'm so excited because this has been a long time coming. It's been brewing and just in formation for a long time. And so whether you've been in my community for a while, or maybe you're a listener of my former podcast, Happy and Human, or you're brand new to this show and to me, welcome. I'm so glad we're connected. Now, if you have followed along with me in years past, you know a lot of my story. But in case you're new here, I just wanted to share a little bit about me. You see, not too long ago, I had an Instagram perfect life on the outside, but on the inside, I was quietly unraveling and I couldn't figure out why. My friends were just like me with their well-respected careers that they had worked years to earn, their manicured lawns, their picture perfect families, and their coveted designer handbags. But they seemed happy. And I, on the other hand, even though having it all on the outside, felt a lot of guilt because I did have it all. I checked off all of the boxes and I still felt like I wasn't enough. Like everything that was given to me, I was thinking to myself, is that all there is? Is this what I'm supposed to do every day, is wake up and grind to push through to tomorrow and then wake up tomorrow and do it all over again? I couldn't figure out why everybody else seemed to have it together. It was like they were in on some sort of secret. Like I was back in middle school, which was not the best time for me. And like everyone kind of knew how to get stuff done. And despite me doing everything that everybody else seemed to be doing, I just felt like I was falling short. So it made me really eventually look at what is it that is going on for me, and doing the work to discover what I needed to do to shift and change the outcome. And that's exactly what I want this podcast to be for you, is just scaffolding for you to do your own inner work that makes all of the work you do in the world feel more easeful, more meaningful, and importantly, sustainable. Something that makes you feel not just alive, but deeply in your joy. You know, oftentimes when we look at the world around us, we're conditioned to say, okay, well, the reason I'm unhappy is because I haven't gotten X yet. We chase and we pursue. And it looks like we tell ourselves this almost like a lie, that I'll be happy when, right? And I'll be happy when is sneaky because it can look like once I get into my dream school, my future will be secure. I'll be able to breathe easier after I land that promotion. Once my parents get off my back about getting married, I'll be able to breathe easier. Once I can just get my kids off to college, life won't be so chaotic. It can look like any number of things. Once I have X amount of money in the bank, once I drive X type of car, you name it. They're all different versions of the same thing of I'll be happy when. And when we fall to this fallacy, if you will, it's known as the arrival fallacy. Now, the arrival fallacy, it happens to everyone, from elite athletes who have just won major championships to entrepreneurs who are closing major deals and doing big collaborations, to overworked parents who just want to get dinner on the table without a side of guilt. The arrival fallacy has its way with us all until we start to cultivate awareness for when that's happening. And the thing with the arrival fallacy is every time we buy into it, we welcome stress into our lives almost as a package deal. It's almost like that's the reason our success costs us. We pay the price for our own success, if you will. And that stress is very expensive. From a dollar amount alone, American companies and businesses will spend $300 billion this year alone in increased healthcare costs, missed days of work, lost productivity. Teams are feeling drained and disconnected from their purpose. And so profits and performance slip. People push harder to compensate. They buy into this arrival fallacy. If I can just get revenue to X amount, if I can just land this client, if I can just, get this result that I think will make things better, then I'll feel better. The problem is that it's cyclical. And because it's cyclical, it also steals something far more than just money. It also steals our ability to sleep at night, our confidence in our decision making, our self-worth. And research shows that it actually undercuts our capacity to create any sort of sustainable success for ourselves. So I call this the stress tax. Now, the American Psychological Association says that women pay the stress tax in higher proportions than men because we tend to take on more unpaid roles at work while retaining the traditional family and household responsibilities. And the stress tax also puts other marginalized groups in a higher tax bracket. People of color, immigrants, groups of people who have historically and systematically been held back. Looking back at that version of myself who was paying the stress tax in the highest bracket, here's what I didn't know. No amount of achievement was going to give me what I actually needed. No amount of success and stress that I endured was going to feel like relief at the end of it. Because success can't bring happiness. Happiness brings success. Success can't bring happiness. Happiness brings success. This is what ancient cultures from across the globe have been trying to tell us for centuries. But now we have evidence to back it up. Did you know that salespeople who are more optimistic outperform their pessimistic counterparts by over half? Students who are happier do better on standardized exams by 17%. And the crazy thing that I personally resonated with me was happier doctors, they make more accurate diagnoses 19% faster than doctors who aren't. Across the board, a better state of mind yielded better critical thinking, which led to better decision making and better outcomes, not just individually, but with societal impact. Stress is super helpful if what we're looking to do is to survive, to get by, to grind. But to thrive, to feel any sort of fulfillment, peace, joy, we've got to be in a more grounded state. Now, many people that I have coached over the years, spoken with over the years, since leaving dentistry and doing my own deep dive into what it is that was missing from my life. One thing I often heard, and this is something that I said before too, was I thrive under pressure. I perform best when I'm under stress. That's when I can get things done. That's when I can really make it happen. But here's the thing. If you're telling yourself that stress has been good for you, let me ask you, is where you are where you want to be? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much peace and fulfillment are you experiencing here? And really, how sustainable is it? Now, I know that this podcast is called the Joy First Method, but I just talked about happiness, right? So in our next episode, what we're going to do is take a deeper look into what these two concepts are, how they're fundamentally different, and why it's really important for us as high achievers to understand that difference so that we can make more conscious choices to create outcomes that are more sustainable, more favorable, and importantly, live a life where our ambition and our well being don't compete with each other. As you move forward after today's show, make some time, answer these questions for yourself. Even go back and maybe think about how you've been paying the stress tax. What's the cost for you? And going even further back into the episode, what's the arrival fallacy look like for you? What are those thought errors that you tell yourself? Nothing changes until we become aware of what isn't working anymore. So take some time, reflect on these questions, journal them, talk about them with your family over dinner if that feels right for you, or even just take a walk and do some quiet thinking. I want to encourage all of you because if you guys are anything like me, you're recovering perfectionists. You do really well when you know that there's a clear right or a wrong, but that's the uncomfortable truth about all of this inner work that I'm inviting you guys to do. There's no right or wrong answer. There's only a truthful answer. And that's the truthful answer is the one that's going to get you the most results. So keep that in mind. There are no wrong answers. Just be truthful and honest about yourself, because it's from that truth that you can start to have those intuitive hits on what you want to do differently. And, I would love to hear what comes up for you. You can email me at hello@drseemadesai.com, or you can just DM me on LinkedIn or Instagram. I read and reply to every single one of the notes that I get. I love hearing from you guys. Okay, so that wraps up today's very first episode. I'm so excited that you guys joined. Until next time, be well. If something in today's episode landed for you, great, sit with it. And then share it. Send it to the founder who's running on fumes, the leader who's got everything and still feels like something's missing, the friend you keep meaning to check on. That's how this work travels, from person to person, the way real change always does. Follow the show so you never miss an episode. And if it's been valuable, leave a review. It helps more people find their way here. I'll see you next time.